Hello boys and girls, wonderful morning to you. It is 7:02 over here in Germany. That's the new Fiat Spider 124, and I'm going to talk about pushing the limits today. I'll try to keep myself short, but well, let's start with the shortness right off the bat. I do not think that you have to push your limits on a bike in traffic at any time. I don't think so, and I truly believe that. Many people say, "Oh, if you want to get better as a rider, you have to push your limits all the time. You know, you gotta get up the game. You know, you gotta get on top of it and stay there. So you always have to push your limits." Well, I do not disagree with that. Something that I do agree with is that to stay at a certain level, you have to keep practicing at that certain level. So, you know, staying at a level that requires some dedication. But I don't think that you really have to push the limits and go to the to the utmost boundaries to be a good rider. I do not think that whatsoever. I think experience and riding skill comes with time naturally. Of course, if you're only going 30 on a scooter all the goddamn time, there's little room for improvement because, you know, the actual playing field is quite level. But when you start riding a real motorcycle and you gotta get up to speed, you're gaining good experience just with time without pushing any boundaries. The problem with pushing boundaries in open traffic, especially on a motorcycle, is that you're putting yourself at so much risk that is, well, in the end, completely unnecessary. And the difference between putting yourself at risk in open traffic and on a racetrack is, well, if you screw up on normal public roads, you don't have any space to run out easily. There is no gravel bed. There is no like 50-meter guardrail in 50 meters of way between the track and the actual barrier. There is no space. It's just you screw up, you go down, and well, bada bang, bada boom. Guardrail comes and you're squished, or you fall and a car behind you runs you over. All that good stuff. There is no safe space, so to speak. There aren't any marshals, and the people on track on the public roads, they don't really care about riding and driving at all. So that makes the whole thing a lot more difficult and dangerous in itself. As a motorcyclist, I think that many motorcyclists, even though they are riding too quickly, often are a lot safer in terms of behavior in traffic, just because they like the thing that they're doing right now, and they, you know, take care while doing it, even though they might be retards or look like retards in the way that they speed. But the difference is they care about themselves and they care about, you know, how they ride. So they will be aware of what's going on around them. And that's the problem with many car drivers. They don't give a shit. They just sit in the box. They want to go to work or they want to go somewhere, and whatever happens in between work and where they are right now, it doesn't really matter. They don't really care. And therefore I think pushing your limits with let's not say enemies, but with co-players who don't give a shit doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. I think if you want to become an experienced rider, then you have to get exactly that, experience. And you can gain that just by riding normally, without behaving like a proper retard all the time. It is totally possible. Totally. Maybe if you want to get some additional riding skill, you can of course visit a track or something, but if you stay on the roads, I think you're good with just riding and getting some experience, putting some time on your bike. I think that's the most important thing. I think pushing the limits is more risk. Really, it's just unnecessary risk that can eventually kill you. You want to get experienced, want to learn some things, how the bike handles in limit situations. Well, don't do that on open roads. That's all I can say about that. So many times where I expected people to see me, and when I was going maybe a bit quicker than I should have been, so many times people just pull out in front of you, people just, move into your lane. So many factors that you cannot possibly keep in the back of your head all the time. Because then, of course, you would be a freaking genius and wouldn't be watching this YouTube video in the first place. Because you wouldn't care. Anyways, I think this is it right now. Yeah, I kept myself short for once. It's great, isn't it? So, I'm going to continue on my way to uni now. There's going to be big traffic in just a minute. I'm going to love it, but I don't want to show you that because it's boring as hell. And I do not want to bore you. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye.